Britt Fohrman. I am so excited to be here with you today. When I got wind of your new Deepening Doula Mentorship Circle, I was so excited about this. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Rachel Yellin, and I've been teaching childbirth classes and sharing clients with Britt Fohrman for the last 15 or so years. And when Britt, when you ran this idea by me, I couldn't have been more excited to know just about all the things that you're going to be providing for new doulas, for seasoned doulas who are learning, who want to learn about, invigorating their practices and creating a sustainable doula practice. So I'm thrilled that you're doing this, and I want to get more information for myself so that I can refer people to your program, but I really want you to have an opportunity to share with all of these doulas who are interested about what they're going to get from this incredible program, just to know more about it. So first and foremost, even though I've known you for a long time and I've heard the amazing things about you, and my students always report these incredible things about you, I really want to just refresh my memory of what inspired you to become a doula, and just how things have changed and evolved over the last 17 years that made you want to put this doula circle together.
Well, I think my inspiration really came from my own mother, and just hearing about what a positive experience she had of giving birth and how it really formed who she is today. Like 40 something years later, she's still really excited to tell the story of her birth, because it was very empowering and very affirming to her to have that experience. And so I never really had any fear about birth, and I always just had a lot of curiosity and excitement and interest in the process. And once I got out of college and I started teaching yoga and I started studying body work, I realized that I had a gift for helping women relax through really intense situations. I had helped my family, supporting them while my grandfather was dying, and really saw like this natural doula skill come to the surface of really being able to be with people in very intense times. So I got really excited when I found out that that could actually be my job. And it's been incredible over the past 17 years just to see how transformative birth can be for women and their partners, and how going through a birth process, having support can make the birth easier and more relaxing and more enjoyable for people. So that was really, kind of the main impetus. And it's evolved a lot, because in the beginning, I was really like towing people through the process. It was like they were hiring me because I did massage, and they thought that because I did yoga and I was a relaxed person, that I could relax them, like that I was going to do it for them. And what I saw was that labors were really hard and really long and weren't going anything like how people wanted them to go. And then it was kind of a disheartening experience for them. And then it was also really frustrating for me, because it didn't seem very empowering for them, for me to be like doing 24 hours of counter pressure on their backs, or for me to be the one like pushing the hospital staff back, and saying no to the hospital for them. So there was a really big shift for me around the time that I discovered the tools of hypnobirthing and restorative yoga, and really started to shift the paradigm in teaching women how to birth from inside of themselves, with a connection to their own power, with all the things that you and I, teach people. And it just completely changed things. And then I saw how my own practice, my own self-care, my own yoga, my own meditation, my own personal and energetic boundaries really came in and made a huge difference in terms of like how I actually felt like I could sustain and continue to do it without burning out like everyone else around me, including you.
Yes, you nailed it there. It's really exciting to hear you talk about the things that come so naturally to you, and just, when you talk about those, when you realize you had these innate gifts that, have, it's not just a gift that you have for supporting um, the people through their process. It's the piece that I'm hearing over and over again that's so relevant to doulas who might want to be involved in your mentoring circle is that it's what you do and what you practice with yourself that gives you the capacity to take these natural gifts that you have and to like let them be much much bigger than they are. And I think, I know for myself and for many, I don't do doula work anymore, of course, but but part of me, I wish that I had had your mentorship circle at the time, because the burnout is such a significant thing where many doulas feel like they have these natural gifts to be present with people, to be loving, to be compassionate, to be patient, to be supportive. And then these other things start to knock them down, challenges in the birth room. And what you're describing in this mentorship circle is really how to not just get through it, but to maintain a connection with their natural gifts and manage all the things that can be disheartening, and develop themselves personally, develop their own personal skills that that are there already, but just need more fine tuning, more honing. Am I getting that right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm really very, very clear that the doula's life, that her well-being is the foundation for her practice. And something that happened for me not long into being a doula was I got really sick, and I had to learn how to manage my own energy, and I had to learn how to put myself first, which isn't often the inclination of doulas. Doulas are often givers. Doulas are often even stepping into the martyr role, like they'll do anything for their clients. And when they do anything for their clients, there's nothing left for them. And I was in a situation where if I didn't do something for me, I couldn't do my job. So I had to really get to this place where I was prioritizing going to acupuncture, doing restorative yoga, meditating, going into deep relaxation myself, so that I could really pace myself, so that I could really restore my own vitality, so that I had the energy to stay up all night with people. And the other thing that I learned was that all of the tools that were helping me recover and manage life with this illness were all tools that would help my clients have really powerful, transformative, exciting, beautiful birth experiences that they want to remember for the rest of their lives.
Totally.
So it was really cool to see how my own personal journey started to really change, not just my practice, but it started to change the way that my clients were experiencing birth themselves.
That's so awesome. It's so fun to talk to you about it, because I get so much feedback from the students who take my classes who have you as their doula. They tell me about what it was, that really helped them during their birth and what they learned and what they practiced. But I kind of want to like pry a little bit and what are your clients after they've given birth? Like, what do they tell you? I don't know if it's the feedback so much, but what do they tell you was like the thing that like made the biggest difference in them having the kind of birth experience that they had?
I think first and foremost, what I hear from a lot of people is that they felt like they were really prepared for the experience, because in my practice, we really emphasize preparation, which includes your class, of course, but it also includes like the ways in which they take care of themselves and the ways in which they relate to their partners and the ways in which they set up their relationships with their care providers and practice saying no and practice asking for what it is that they want. So I think a really big part of that for them was just feeling like they actually knew in some way or another what to expect as they were going into this really unknown terrain, and that they had a foundation, like they had a ground to stand on when the intensity came on, that they knew how to relax, and that I was really there just to enhance the relaxation, but that everything that happened in the birth came from inside of them. And that has been like a kind of a common thread, that I really supported them in having more confidence and more belief in themselves. So that's a really big piece, that I was holding this kind of confident, trusting, loving environment around them where they could do it, and where the partner could be really involved, and where I could just kind of hang back and hold a really powerful space for them. So that's one of the things. And then I do get a lot of gratitude for the photos, because I do take, a lot of photos at births, and people find those photos really memorable. And it's a awesome way for the mamas to get a different perspective on what the birth was for them, when they're on the outside rather than on the inside.
Right. So yes to everything that you've said. And something else that's like occurring for me as you're talking is, I know that there's been a really big change, over the last 17 years that you've been doing this work. What you used to witness, and then you've implemented all these practices, all these tools, really getting women to be in such a deeply empowered state that you must have seen, since you've like put all this together. Like, what are the changes that you really notice in the births that you're attending? Like, the births that you attended 15 years ago had sort of a certain quality or like a feeling about them. And now, over the years, what have you noticed has changed due to all these techniques and tools and practices and preparation that you shared with your clients?
One of the things that I notice the most is that my clients are really excited to give birth. That my clients are, when they're 36, 37, 38, 40 weeks, whatever it is, that they're looking forward to birth, that they're not dreading it, that they're not like holding it back and like trying to, hold the baby in, but they're looking forward to meeting the intensity. They're looking forward, they're curious about the challenge. They know that they have what they need to do it, and they're just open to however it's going to be. And because I teach prenatal yoga classes, and we often have check-ins, and I get to hear about what's going on with people who are not my clients, I really get to hear about a lot of other women who have a tremendous amount of crippling anxiety and fear, people that have been preparing, not really preparing for birth, and they'll be in the sort of ignorance is bliss category, and that is not my clientele. My clientele are really, really prepared. They're really excited. They're really curious. They're really confident, and they feel ready. Like they're in a place where they're totally unplugged, and they're really connected to themselves, like really aware of the tools that they're going to use for the birth. They're aware of how they want to interface with the baby, how they want to talk to themselves and the baby through the process. So it's really, that's to me like one of the most beautiful and exciting and inspiring things, is just to see women excited to go into labor instead of dreading going into labor.
Totally. So, as you're talking, you're talking about, your clientele. And of course, after reading the description for the Deepening Doula Mentorship Circle, I can see really clearly that many of the things that you're going to be sharing with the doulas who take the, who participate in the circle, about, how do you know who's the right client for you, and how do you, basically be discerning about who to take and who not to take as your clients, and what's going to be important to you as a doula. I mean, there's so many great things that you're going to be teaching and sharing with the doulas who are in your circle. So I could go on and on about that, but I'm really curious, like, who's this circle for? Like, what kind of doulas do you want to have in this group?
The circle is for doulas who maybe have lost their inspiration and want to regain some excitement and enthusiasm for the work. It's for doulas who are just starting out and want to really pave the way for a very sustainable, enjoyable, inspired practice. It's for doulas who, maybe have already had their own children and are moving into this new phase of their lives, and they're really interested in personal growth. I think altogether, like one of the common threads is that this is really for doulas who are interested in going deeper into their own personal growth, into their own spiritual development, and using their own connection with themselves and their own connection with their own truth and their own practice as a foundation for how they show up as doulas. Because I've found that usually, like, when you don't have something within yourself that sustains you, it's really, really easy to burn out. So that's one thing. And the other thing is that it's really important, and something that I've found oftentimes is lacking for a lot of doulas is a sense of community, is a sense of having a circle of like-minded doulas, of doulas who have a similar type of commitment, a similar type of approach, because we often need to have backups or other people that we refer to when we're not available, or some of us want to work in partnership. And I benefit tremendously for the past few years from being in a partnership model. So I'm a big fan of that, and happy and excited to talk to other doulas about how to create a really sustainable partnership model. So yeah, there's so much I can say about who this is for, but I would really just say it's for all doulas. It's for new doulas, experienced doulas, doulas who are somewhere in between. It's doulas who have other things going on in their lives, you know, who are offering other services, and doulas who are totally full-time, you know, 100% full on birth and postpartum doulas.
That's awesome.
Yes.
So awesome. There's a tiny little part of me that wishes I still did doula work, but after hearing about this, I'm like, oh, I could be in the circle too. But
Just a tiny part.
just a tiny little bit. I will leave the doula expertise and training to you, and I will carry on with the childbirth ed and all my other stuff that I do. This is just totally amazing. Is there anything else that you think would be helpful for people who are interested to know about the circle, or just anything else about, you know, yourself, about like the gift that you want to give to them, that you think, that anything else you want to share?
Yeah, well, I'm really excited about using the circle as a way for doulas to get very clear about what it is about being a doula that they're really passionate about, and how to be really clear about what they want to bring into the birth space. Like, what do they have to offer, and how can, just like you were mentioning earlier, like how they can really be aligned with their clients. I found that my enjoyment of my practice as a doula is almost completely based on only working with clients who are aligned with what it is that I'm putting out there. And the only way that happened is because I got really clear about what I'm putting out there, and about what I'm offering. So I'm really excited to help other doulas figure out what they're offering, so that they can be matched with the best clients for them. Because I don't believe in the one size fits all doula mentality. That tends to not be in service for the doula or for the client. And, you know, like a lot of people gravitate towards me because they're into yoga, or they're Buddhist meditators, or they're really into doing ceremony. And so they want a doula that really speaks that same language and that understands what their values are. So I'm excited to help doulas figure that out for themselves, and then put it out there so that they can get what they want.
That's an amazing, amazing clarification. So just to make sure I get it, so it's not like the Britt Fohrman show and the Britt Fohrman method. It's about you helping people discover what it is that works best for them, who they want to attract, what they have to offer. So for example, you know, of course, you know, you are a doula who attracts, you know, people who really, really want to have a natural birth and really want to, you know, have deep partner involvement. But there may be doulas who are, you know, their passion is for working with, you know, single moms and being the primary birth companion in that situation, or women who know that they want to have a medicated birth, but they, you know, they need really good support around their fears about that. And so that's awesome. Really, that's a great distinction. So
There's a doula for everyone.
There's a doula for everyone. Well, thanks for being here with me. It's been so fun to be with you always. And I will just look forward to hearing how the circle transpires, and also to showing up at the circle and offering some of my gifts to the group as well. That'll be a great big treat for me. So thanks for asking me, and thanks for including me.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for chatting with me and participating and being such an amazing partner in all this amazing work that we do. So,
You're welcome. You're welcome.
really good to chat with you.
All right. Good luck with everything.
All right. Thank you. Bye.